Well, good day to you, designers. We are excited and honored to be joined by Cindy Berry, who has been in this industry for a long time. She's been successful with in this industry for a long time, and we're just honored to have her. She's recently joined the Mialisia family, has begun building her organization, and is having a lot of success doing so. We wanted to bring her on today so that she could share some of the best practices and pointers that she uses to attract people and to build a business and to make it a good solid Mialisia business. So without any other delays, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Cindy. She is from the great state of Alabama, and she'll be talking to us today. Cindy, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Sean. I'm so honored that you asked me to share. I'm excited to talk with you today about my passion, which is team building and truly working your business as a business and not a hobby. I just absolutely love direct sales. My first direct sales experience actually was with Avon when I was 15 years old. So I've been selling on and off for over 20 years now. But it provided me spending money through my high school years, and I soon learned that I could control my paycheck by the number of sales that I made. After I married and had children, it enabled me to raise my two children, being a stay-at-home mom, homeschool them, and still provide extra income for my family. And it also gave me a little something extra because let's face it, when you're staying at home with children all day, it's not very glamorous. So if I could get dressed up and go out a couple of nights a week and make some extra money and give me some adult time, it was always a great thing too. But I'll start with saying that there is a huge difference in a hobby and a business. A hobby costs you money while a business makes you money. If you treat Mialisia as a business, you will make money. So how do you treat it as a business? Well, it's really very simple. In order to build a business, you must set aside time every day for what I like to call income-producing activities. I always suggest an hour a day. Now, there are non-income-producing activities as well, and they're important. These would be things like compiling hostess packets, organizing your office, getting your case and your demonstration ready for your fashion events, writing thank you cards to your fashionistas, things like that. Be sure that you're doing those things, but the more important activities are the income producers, such as contacting your prospective fashionistas, customer follow-up calls, and phone calls with prospective designers. By spending an hour a day, 5 days a week on these income-producing activities, you will build a business. Team building allows you not only to increase your income, but you'll also move up the career path. So set your goals, develop a plan of action. You need to know how much weekly or monthly income you need, and you also need to look at the career path and decide what position you'd like to attain with Mialisia. When you sponsor new designers and you train them to do what you do, you're actually duplicating yourself. So let's just say that you personally are able to hold 6 parties a month. When 3 team members each hold 6 parties a month, like you've taught them to do, you and your team are now holding a total of 24 parties a month. So this paycheck is going to be much more than if you were just paid on your own 6 parties. The key to success in this business is to consistently book, sell, and recruit. In order to do all these activities, you must work your business daily, and you must hold parties. It all happens at the party. I love to go to a party because everyone there got an audience, and everyone there is either a customer, fashionista, or a future designer. I personally mark off 10 event dates every month, and I fill these dates with home parties, home events. With our product line being fairly new, especially down here in the South, this joy and this concept has to be shown in front of people. And when you get in front of people, you're selling not only our product, but our company, yourself, and the business opportunity. And I also suggest it for interviews. Now, I've often been asked, is there a secret to successful recruiting? No, I don't think so. But I've found the key to recruiting is very simple. You must tailor the opportunity to fit the needs of your prospect. This business offers extra income, opportunities for travel, prizes, personal growth and development. It builds self-confidence, and it offers friendships, among other things. But first, you have to find out what the needs are in her life. So let's say you're talking with a college student college students always need extra money. And then being young, personal growth and development would be important to her. If she's a young stay-at-home mom, extra income, and again, something just for her, something to get her out of the house for a little while and give her some adult time. It also is a great avenue for making new friends. For the working woman, this is a fun business, and the friendships we have aren't always available to her in her full-time job. She also has control of her pay. When you need extra money, you just book 2 more events and go hold some more parties. Women with grown children or retired ladies, again, it's fun. It's something fun to do. And she may want to travel, so she may need some travel money, or she may still have some debt that she needs to pay off, especially if she's newly retired and she's getting herself ready for the future. At each event, you want to plant at least 3 recruiting seeds throughout the presentation. I'm not real big on games, but I do. When I do play games, they always have an end result, and mainly mine are recruiting games. So I like to play the game, ask me questions about my job. I take a deck of cards, and I pull the hearts and I pull the diamonds out, those 2 suits only. And I tell them to ask me questions about my job. And as long as I have heart cards, the heart cards are what I'm handing out. I keep the diamond cards in my hand. So when they ask a question, they receive a heart card. Now, the question can't be about product. It can't be about versus style or how this concept works. We say that for the presentation. These have to be questions about my job. A lot of times I'll run out of heart cards, and they're still asking questions, and I think that's wonderful because I'll answer questions as long as they're asking them. After I've run out of the heart cards and the questions have ended, I use those diamonds to pull those heart cards back in. So I'm holding the Queen of Diamonds in my hands, but I call out who has the Queen of Hearts. I collect the card back, and I just collect each card back until the last person or the last lady there is holding the last heart card, and she's obviously the winner. And then I give a little prize for that. Again, play games with a purpose that are going to have a return on your investment. Now, I never give too much information. I once heard it said you don't want to be like a rash and be all over them. So I never give too much information. I always leave them wanting more. My favorite question that I ask when I'm doing the one-on-one closing, because I always do one-on-one closings at my event, I always ask for a booking, and I always ask her this question: have you ever thought of doing what I do? And it may surprise you that I would say probably 85 to 90% of women have thought of doing this business, but for one reason or the other, they've never been offered the opportunity, or they've just never had the self-confidence or whatever to start it. So when I ask her that, depending on her response, I'll say, well, I think you'd be great. And, I don't say that if I don't mean it to somebody, but if you think about it, most people, when given the right training, would be awesome at what they do if they're willing to learn and be trained. So after I say I think you'd be great, I tell her I'd love for you to take this Think About It packet home and look it over. I'll call you in a couple of days to answer any questions you may have. While you're asking these questions and you're saying this to her, always smile and nod your head yes while asking, and always expect a yes and a positive response. Your enthusiasm is contagious, and you've got to be excited about what you're doing. In my Think About It packet, I keep it very simple. I put a catalog, the new concept brochure, the DVD that explains the concept, a copy of our Success Start, our compensation plan, and my contact information. And a business card is great to use for your contact information. And I will stress, do not ever let a piece of literature leave your hands without your contact information on it. You don't know where it'll wind up. I heard the story one time of a catalog that wound up in a doctor's office with no contact information on it. They called home office. They signed up, became a designer with that company, and whoever left that catalog never got the benefit of recruiting that person because their information wasn't there. So always have your information on all of your literature. Now remember, you don't have to know all the answers to sponsor. You can always use your upline. Your upline leader will be glad to call her on your behalf to answer questions or present the opportunity in full. You always want to keep your presentation at your party simple and duplicatable. You've got to make your job look like it's fun, which I truly think it is. It's a party. You want to leave your stress and problems at the door. And don't pick them up until you're on your way back out the door, headed back home. You can take them back home with you, but you've got to leave them outside while you're at your party. You should always be professional, yet relatable. Be able to develop a rapport and make a connection with everyone you meet. Always be willing to share your story. And this is very important. You must ask questions to find out her needs, and then you've got to be able to overcome any objections. I love the feel, felt, found method. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but I found, and that's how you overcome an objection. If she's shy, you could simply ask her, well, if I gave you a script to follow, could you follow a script? If she doesn't like to stand in front of people, we'll have her sit down. I love to sit in a chair among the middle of my guests when the party's about to start. I'll just sit down because I try to visit with everyone as they come in and get to know them. So sitting in the middle of everybody, I'm not standing up there to do a, quote, presentation. And I'll just start asking questions, and we just kind of start it there. Tell me how you know our hostess and tell me a little bit about yourself. As we do little introductions with everybody. So she really doesn't have to stand up there. And if there's not a chair in the middle, just pull a chair up beside the table wherever the jewelry's laid out there. Or, hey, if everybody's standing in the dining room or kitchen, you may not even be, everybody may be standing with you. If she says she doesn't know enough people, remind her that for every 10 people she knows, they know 10 more. So there shouldn't even be a problem. And then fear. I always let her know that I was scared to death at my first party. And then, of course, if you live close enough, go do a launch party for her and work with her as much as you can to get her started. Another thing I try to do is I never, ever prejudge, and I ask everyone. To get one new designer, you must talk to 10 people minimum. And I'll have a separate list of names for my prospects, just like I have a list of names for booking. So when you start I say 100 names when you start your business, I try to break those out. I have some that I'm going to ask for bookings, and I have some that I'm going to present the opportunity to. 9 times out of 10, they start as a fashionista, and then they wind up as a designer. I really like for them to hold a party with me first to see what everything's about. You can use this list, also your list of prospect names, to set up your interviews. Remember I said to mark off 4 dates each month for interviews? Go down this list. You can meet at a local restaurant or a coffee shop. Keep it really light and simple. Take some versatile pieces along with a think about it packet and introduce her to this awesome company and this awesome opportunity. And again, ask questions and listen. Again, that simple key to success in recruiting is to tailor this opportunity to fit her needs. And lastly, don't be afraid of the word no. You need to develop a thick skin in this business. And remember, when she says no, it's not personal. Maybe the timing isn't right, or maybe she just needs more information, or maybe more time to just think on it. And I love this saying, heard it years ago, and it's gotten me through probably my entire career. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. And then I would love for you to make a list of 100, number 1 to 100, and I want you to write down every time you get a no. Get 100 no's and check them off as you go, because every no is going to bring you closer to a yes. Again, going back to the daily agenda, I love this quote by John Maxwell. The secret to my success is determined by my daily agenda. So I'd like to encourage you again to set your goals, develop your plan of action, take control of your daily activities, and reach for the stars. I am certain I'll see you at the top. Thank you.